on the eve of destiny. Yes, the US presidential elections on Tuesday. Monday's Media Watch with James Creedon looks at, among other things, how various media are predicting an Obama victory.
Who'd have thought it, Mark? Well, actually,
it is very tight, neck and neck, as they say, or elbow to elbow, as the French say.
That's it. Now, a lot of people were talking about them being neck at neck, 48% to 48%. That was an ABC Washington Post poll. But increasingly, you've got what they're calling a cascade of swing state polls, which is allowing, as the Daily Beast website, we have it here to say, which is allowing them to say that a lot of bloggers are now saying Obama could well win it. One blogger by the name of Nate Silver for the New York Times says that the president has an 83% chance of winning. Now, these are polls coming out of states like Ohio, Virginia, Florida, Colorado, etc., where the race is very, very tight, and that's allowing people to come to that conclusion. So we'll see whether or not this cascade of swing state polls is actually accurate.
Well, these are coming from reputable sources, aren't they? So clearly there must be some kind of, I don't know, quantitative analysis of who they're putting forward, who they're interviewing, and what they're talking about. Not just a bar full of Obama voters.
Absolutely not. So we'll see where that goes. Now, another interesting detail coming out in the media this evening: what the European media thinks, even though it's got strictly nothing to do with us. But there you go. We're in Europe, so we'll tell you what they're saying. Now, The Guardian last time out said that it was a jaw-dropping, almost redemptive American moment when Obama won 4 years ago. So really superlative, out there language. They couldn't be more excited unless they got jumping up and down. This time around, they're saying the record is certainly not perfect, but he has done about as well as anyone could reasonably expect. So that's a little bit more muted.
It is a bit, isn't it? But then again, with that sort of tsunami of financial problems that started in 2008.
What can you expect?
I don't think anybody could have sorted it out.
What can you expect? Now, that's pretty much the case across the European press landscape. Most papers backing Obama, all of them really a bit more restrained than the last time. One endorsement that got a lot of attention last week was, of course, The Economist, which I think is the one that most embodies that lack of enthusiasm this time around when there was a lot of enthusiasm last time around.
America could do better than Barack Obama. Sadly, Mitt Romney does not fit the bill.
There you go. So it's more...
That's from The Economist.
That's right. More disavowal of Romney than anything else. Le Monde, for their part, feigned praise in their endorsement. Not always brilliant, but solid. That's what they say of Obama. But
thousands of lawyers set to contest the results.
That's it.
I sense a bit of money being made there by the legal profession.
Well, they always know how to make a bit of money, lawyers. But now, 72% of French people would elect Obama, so perhaps it's no surprise that the French press is reflecting that. Only 2% would elect Romney. That's according to this poll being picked up by Le Lab website. Pourquoi les Français sont Obamaniacs? Obamaniacs.
Obamaniac.
That's
a new word.
And do you know why? They give some reasons. Fascination with his minority identity, even though every study really has said that France is not itself ready to elect a minority candidate, but fascination with another country that has. He's left-wing for American politicians, but actually right of Sarkozy, if you're to take the French political landscape, which means he'd have a broader appeal amongst the left and right.
The Americans have a sort of strange view of what socialism is, don't they, really?
They do.
Kind of a strange
It's
way
not
of
the same
looking at
definition as here. And he's seen as a pacifist compared to Bush, but then again, there is that
Who
question
isn't
of drones.
compared to Bush, indeed. Indeed. Okay, so obviously there's been early voting, and that's giving certain trends, but also the other thing is that people don't really know, and I didn't know this until you told me this isn't just a two-horse race, is it?
It's not a two-horse race, and look at what you've got down here. A couple of sparse headlines that you'd have to really dig deep to find about the other candidates. Gary Johnson within striking distance of 5%, Jill Stein of the Green Party polling well. So you don't see many headlines like that now, do you? And here you've got a piece in The Nation, which is a well-respected magazine website. Ben Adler saying the delusions of third-party candidates. So he's saying essentially that this whole notion that it's Tweedledum and Tweedledee, Barack Obama and Mitt Romney, one candidate and the other, very little difference between them. He says that's just rubbish. There are serious policy differences between the Democrats and the Republicans. So you are finding some discussion of the third-party candidates, but not a lot. It's effectively, as far as the media is concerned, a two-horse race.
What about this Brazilian model who's caused controversy posing in front of the Sandy disaster scenes?
All right, now this is...
Got to be the height of bad taste, surely.
It's height of bad taste, as you say, Mark. I'm going to scroll quickly up through it. What she did, this 30-year-old Brazilian model living in New York, is she decided that it would be highly appropriate, even though it clearly isn't, to stand on front of disaster scenes in New York City with these sort of I suppose, sexy poses, right?
Well, she's selling herself and saying, "Look where I am."
That's right. Clearly not thinking about the broader context. So it's been parodied, as you would expect, on social media with scenes from various movies, and there she is, kind of on front of all sorts of disaster scenes, doing her thing.
Okay, that's backfired on her, hasn't it?
Absolutely.
Deservedly so, it seems. James, thank you very much
Thanks, Mark.
indeed. James Creedon with Media Watch.